Last season, Leon Bailey was one of our most important players. He was down that right wing, the link up with Ezri Konsa, the goals, the assists, the magic against Manchester City. This season, he looks like a shell of the man that we saw last season. He's still only 26 years of age, yet he has no confidence, no pace, no finishing touch. And it's really confusing to see what's happened and why it has happened. But I'm going to try and come up with some answers in this video because I still believe in Leon Bailey. He was one of my favourite players last season. He's on the back of my away shirt, so I really need him to start playing better because otherwise that was a big waste of money. But why? Why has he had this sudden downfall? Is it down to personnel change? Is it down to tactic change? Is it down to just him just falling off, being a one-season wonder? Although generally you don't see that when it's not their first season in the Premier League. Do you know what I mean? One-season wonders, you think of Michu, you think of Demba Ba, Pape Cisse. They come in, they're great for their first season, then they fall off when they get found out. So this is really, really peculiar. But if you do enjoy the content, then guys, Aston Villa fans, Jamaica fans, England fans, Premier League fans, football fans, leave a like on the video, subscribe, comment down below what you think's going on with Leon. Let's have a look at what might be going on and just how bad it is. So first up, we have Leon Bailey's foot mob first. Now, we're just going to look at his stats for this season. 8 games, 11 starts, only 2 assists, and that is all. Now, we go down, no goals, not even an expected goal, 0.5 yet from 10 shots. That just shows how off target he is at the moment. Now, his 2 assists and his 2 expected assists are not too bad in the grand scheme of wingers in the Premier League. 136 successful passes, but look at that pass accuracy. 76%, and we're going to be comparing this to his last season. 76%, just really, really worrying. His cross accuracy this season, 10 chances created, 3 successful crosses. That cross accuracy is 16.7%. Most wingers in the Premier League, you expect to see it around the 30% mark. So he's half of that at the moment. Possession-wise, only completing 41% of his dribbles, and that is very, very much apparent this season. He can't beat a man. He can't take someone on, whereas last season he's been dispossessed 17 times this season. Defensively, not mucking in at all either. But is this fair? You know, last season were his stats that much different? Well, let's have a little look as it loads up here. As you can see, 10 goals from an expected goals of 6.31. 53 shots and 10 goals, a conversion rate of around 1 in 5. Not too bad considering the amount of shots he's had this season to no goals. 9 assists, again, fantastic. His pass accuracy, 78%. Long ball accuracy, 65%. That cross accuracy bumped up 22.7%, and look at the output in terms of his dribbles. Then he was completing 50% of them, 57 of them being successful. Defensively, we know he's never been the strongest, but these are still higher than what we're seeing this season. But let's go a little bit more in depth. So if we go across to FB Ref here, we are going to be able to directly compare last season Bailey versus this season Bailey. So we can see the goals and assists, obviously very, very, very different. But if we go down here and we look at specifically the shooting, so his shots on target percentage has gone from 34 to 10. His shots per 90 has gone from 2.3 to 1.5. Again, you'll see a pattern here. His passing, his completion has gone down by 2%, and that is short, gone down 3. Medium has gone up ever so slightly by about 4, I think that is 6. And then his long completion rate has gone down by nearly 20% as well. His progressive passes from 82 down to 19. I appreciate we are a third of the way through the season, but even if you triple that, 20, 40, 60, it's nowhere near what he was last season. His goal and shot creation, now this is a really, really important one. He was one of our creative sparks. When Leon Bailey got the ball in the 2023-2024 Premier League season at Villa Park, everyone was on the edge of their seats. Now everyone's just waiting for him to give the ball away. Now, per 90 is shot creating action last season, 23. This season, 6.5. Shot creation actions per 90, 4.22, 2.47. It's all just going down. Goal creating actions last season, he was pretty much creating 1 every 2 games. That has gone down to 1 every 3. Defensive actions, I'm not going to look at too much, but I do want to look at his possession stats here. If we do want to have, I want you to look at his progressive and his take-ons. His take-ons percentage. So the percentage that he is getting tackled during his take-ons has gone up nearly 6%. His take-on success ratio has gone down 17%. I think you're starting to paint a picture here. His progressive, right, so this is receiving passes. Again, it's all gone down. His progressive carries, so the distance, last season, nearly 2,500, whereas third of the way through the season, he's on about 550. So you're looking at about, 1,000 less, roughly, progressive yards if he continues in the same vein that he has. It's really, really worrying. But why is it happening? There's a couple of things that I think. We haven't massively or dramatically tactically changed. We still set up in the 4-4-2. One thing that has changed a lot is personnel. Two key personnel to the way that Leon Bailey played last season. Number one, Douglas Luiz. Yes, Yuri Tielemans has stepped up and filled that role. He's starting to fall off a little bit now. I do back him to get back to the way that he was. But we've lost that. And Kamara as well, who had a brilliant eye for a pass. We've replaced them with Onana. Again, not the same eye for a forward progressive pass as perhaps Kamara. And Tielemans, who, yes, he's been fantastic this season, but is he as creative as the likes of Douglas Luiz, especially last season, the way he was pinging balls? Probably not. So already you've taken away a little bit of the creative spark behind him. You've also replaced Ezri Konsa, who took the defensive job of 8 men on his back at right back last season, replacing with the likes of Bagard and Matty Cash, who do need help. So Bailey's having to get back more. Also, we've switched our sort of way of attacking. Last season, we were very, very, very heavy at going forward down the right-hand side of the pitch because you had the likes of another player who we're going to get onto very, very soon, don't you worry. But we'd mainly go down the right. This season, that has switched. Luca Digne and Ian Matson are effectively playing left wing to allow our left mid, who's been either John McGinn or Jacob Ramsey, to cut in and pretty much play as a number 10 as well. So we have to be going down the left-hand side more because otherwise they're out of position, blah-de-blah-de-blah. Our main focus of attack has definitely been more down the left-hand side than it was last season. And then the big one. Last season, we had a certain man who no one really blinked an eyelid when he got sold, but this season we're really feeling the effects of it. Moussa Diaby. Constantly moving. Him and Bailey were constantly switching channels, and he's quick. He gets in behind. He stretches the defence. As much as I love Morgan Rogers, and he's one of our best players, and yeah, he had a stinker against Crystal Palace, but otherwise he's been brilliant this season. He's not creating the same amount of room as Diaby. Diaby would never drop into that number 10 position. He would be hitting the channels, allowing Bailey to come on the inside or sprinting in behind and allowing Bailey so much room down the right-hand side. It was unreal. Morgan Rogers, to an extent, crowds that little pocket that Bailey was operating in so well last season because he is dropping deep and leaving Ollie Watkins up front on his own. There's no switching. In fact, the switching seems to be coming John McGinn going up front and Rogers going out to the left, which I find really, really bizarre, and I don't really know why it's happening. But I think that the loss of Moussa Diaby was a massive one for Leon Bailey, and we're really feeling the effects of it now. Or could it just be a Leon Bailey fall-off? Interesting to think about. He doesn't look as quick as he did last season. Doesn't look as sharp. We know he was injured over the summer. We know there was a lot of turmoil between him and the Jamaican men's national team. Perhaps this is all playing on his mind, or is he just a player out of confidence? Every time he gets the ball, he has no confidence this season. You can tell when a player's playing with no confidence, it radiates off of them. The lack of confidence radiates, just like a confident player, that radiates off of them. And like I said in my Palace review, I think it's only going to get worse because every time he gets the ball, there's an air of disappointment already around Villa Park because we know he's going to lose it because he doesn't have the confidence to take on a man, beat a man, shoot. I don't know how we fix it, and I don't know how the Leon Bailey conundrum gets fixed. I don't think we're going to swap the likes of Watkins or Rogers out. We don't have that other attacker that's really going to stretch. I think the only way to fix it would be a change in formation and bringing in a pacey left winger to also stretch an opposition defence. Allow him and Bailey just to crisscross consistently. Otherwise, I think Bailey's time at Villa could even be up. That's how bad it's getting. It's getting toxic. He isn't getting any better. And without signings, I don't think he will. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. Help me fix the Leon Bailey puzzle.